Welcome back, everybody. I thought, actually someone suggested it, and it was a good idea, was to pull this off and reseal it. As long as it's this close, I've got plenty of seals around. Kind of ordered in bulk the last time I did it. So I thought, why not? It didn't seem to be leaking, but that's probably a good time to get it before it does. If dirt gets up into that quad ring, that can act like a friction additive and chew away at everything that you want to keep. Yeah, it definitely is not going to get any easier than this. It's a loader tractor now, so it gets a lot of steering. I should probably find some caps. I got a drain pan underneath there because, well, they're just going to be oil. That's all there is to it. That would probably go easier with a regular end wrench now that it's broken. Yeah, you're mounted on something that wiggles. Now it's broke free. I've got a video on resealing these that includes doing the rack seals. Oh, I haven't noticed any drifting or anything, and I don't have a seal kit for that. So my thoughts are, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just more concerned about it leaking to the outside world. But the worst thing you get out of the kind of internal leak is that your steering can drift. It honestly doesn't happen that much. If your steering's drifting, something's either mechanically loose, or usually it's the steering motor. This steering box is pretty reliable, other than it, especially in the, they used it in the white tractors, and it needed to probably be beefed up for that big of a, like a 2135. So I've seen them before where this end down here blows out, or the other end. Get a hard bump or something, and there's relief valves built into there, but they're pretty small, and apparently they just can't handle that kind of stuff. Yeah, what did I say about caps? Get some caps, Chris. Come on. There's that. There's an O-ring on here to change. We'll do that. And then we've got this plug cap thing here. These are probably just a little too big to get a hold of. Might have to, go find a screwdriver. Hey, that little tool. I don't know where that came from. Usually I'm losing tools, not getting extra ones. Maybe it's something my brother gave me and I didn't know it. That's got an O-ring on it too. That just seals the oil. There's another snap ring down in there, and you might think, I gotta take that out, and that would be wrong. You wanna leave that in. When you back this bolt off, it'll pop the gear off the shaft. And I find it's best to do it with an impact. I do believe that's 15/16. Let's try it with a cordless just to see if it can handle it. Ooh. One light. I might have to try a different battery. I also might try a different socket. That's 1 1/8. Must be a 3/4 inch bolt. Yeah, that fits a lot better. It was working. That one light was almost nothing. Let me go get another battery. All right, let's see. Well, I just took this off the charger, so it should be fully charged. That got her off from there. It wasn't super tight. Probably a good thing we're doing this. Now I need to grab it with something. Let's see, make sure. Where are the timing marks? The wheels are almost straight ahead. Oh, there it is. I should straighten them out. And then squirt oil. I was thinking. Close enough I ought to be able to figure it out. This pair of pliers was nearby, so I thought, well, let's see if that's enough. And it is. And it's all going in the bucket. There's a timing mark on each side just to make sure you get the rack timed up right. You know, now that I think about it, I've done it before. We're going to try it again. I didn't have to disconnect any lines. When I did the 1850, I just picked out the quad ring and got a new one in there and left the box in place. Life goals. So ignore the part about disconnecting lines. Unless I fail, then pay back attention to that. You know what? I may have done it that way with the 1850, but I've got the lines disconnected. Everything's out of the way. This should just lift out at this point. Just like that. Get it off the drag link down here. And then I can also clean up underneath it better. That's what I meant to do. There we go. Look at that mess. Yeah, we'll clean that up before we go back together, because, you know, it'll feel better. We don't want a sad tractor. Let's pick the old O-ring or quad ring out. There's some dirt in there. Some of that might have been for me washing. We'll try to get her cleaned out good here, because dirt is only going to grind at it. That looks much better. I do believe this is the right one. Oh yeah, it matches right up. Fits right in like a glove. A glove that's going to seal better than the old one. I don't think the old one was leaking too bad. Most of the leak up front there was from the cooler hoses were just about done for. They were seeping pretty good, but who knows? This could have been seeping. So good idea to get at it. Something else? Just make it out. Second shift to cast that piece. You're probably like, whoa, why does that matter? Grease it up so it slides on there good. Wee. And you can reach them from underside. But don't forget to grease these steering shaft bearings. I like to hit them at least once in an oil change, but more often ain't gonna hurt anything. Oh look, I'm making an oily mess. Definitely want to make sure this steering line is on top like it should be. And the pin engages the drag link. There. And the rack kind of turned in its hole. We want to make sure we can... Yeah, there's the marker right there. Okay, I'm gonna put a little blue Loctite on these threads. There's probably oil in there. It's kind of hard to get it on the bolt when it's inside that gear, but as you can hopefully see, the bolt's way down in there. So we put a little Loctite on there, hopeful for the best. I wire wheeled the bottom part where the quad ring rides. Now we just need to find a dot. And there's a dot right there. There's a dot right there. Probably have the rack turned too much. There. So it's still there. Yeah, that got her. Now what we need to do is get it, in the hole. Let me get a rubber mallet. Might not be matching up to the splines on the vertical shaft, but my markers are definitely right. So, might just have to turn the wheels a little bit. There, I think it felt like it dropped down a little bit. Yeah, just needed a little wiggle. Now it just needs a little thread engagement. Seemed like the threads went in, I don't know, tough enough, but if it was cross-threaded, I'm really impressed with that cordless impact. I don't think that's the issue. Get this cap back in the top, make sure that little lip that you grab with the screwdrivers is facing up. Fill her up most of the way with hydraulic oil. New O-ring on the cap, and ooh, it must be sealed up good. That air is making it bounce. Just reaching underneath. Don't feel any oil dripping out. Hook the steering lines back up. I said, there. I de-tweak the line, retweak the line. I don't know. I do remember now why I did it in the frame with the 1855 on the Perkins diesel. The belt or the pulley, crankshaft pulley is kind of over this, and it might even be on this one too. But one way or another, it was going to be a lot more work. So I pulled the cap, pulled the gear, and it took a little more digging, but I was able to get down there, get the O-ring or the quad ring out of the bottom, and then slide another one down in there. But that beat all the work it was going to take to pull off the balancer and pulley off the front of the tractor. That was before it was painted. Okay, now all I got to do is figure out what I did. Oh, right there. One last McSnuggin with a line wrench. All right, that should be it. Time will tell if I screwed something up. Definitely a quick little job to do while we're here. Definitely easier than with a pulley and stuff in the way. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you in the next one.